Hey guys, it's Mike for SimRacing604, and today I want to share an incredible SimHub dash that I found called Lovely Dashboard. Lovely is only for Assetto Corsa Competizione and iRacing at the time of this writing, but I'm hoping the creator will be eventually convinced to port this over to more sims because I think it's fantastic. In fact, it's the best SimHub dashboard I have found so far. I don't want to spend time in this video delving too deeply into what SimHub is, but basically SimHub allows you to take information from your favorite racing sim like tire pressures, lap times, gear, speed, fuel, and so forth, and display it either over your in-game view, which they call an overlay, or in a second screen, tablet, or phone as what they call a dashboard. But I'm going to focus on the dashboard side of things for this video. The creator Konstantinos has shared Lovely for free on his GitHub page and has created a nice video on his own YouTube channel walking you through what it is. If you do decide to use the Lovely dashboard or overlay, be sure to head over to his video, which is linked in the description below, and leave a note of thanks and see if there's a donation button there. And just quickly, before I give you a walkthrough of what Lovely includes, I just want to share a couple of installation notes. First, obviously, you need SimHub, which is free, but I do recommend you upgrade to the paid version if you have the funds. And next up, follow the link in the description and download the latest version of Lovely, which will give you a zip file. Just unpack the zip file somewhere, then double-click the dashboard file to install it. And just a note that you may need to also install a font, and you can find more information about that at Konstantinos' GitHub page. And then the only thing that's left is to map a button to Next Page, Action A, Action B, and Action C in SimHub, and make sure ACC or iRacing is configured. Alright, so let's test it in Sim. Alright guys, so just about to start our demonstration session here at the Nürburgring. I'm driving the Lambo, and we're just about to go green. You should see the green flag pop up, there you go, on the top left side of the dash. Obviously I'm recording this live with a camera pointed at the tablet, which sits at the top of my center monitor. And so what you're seeing is real-time data from the simulation. Now I'm just waiting for things to shake out here in turn 1 at Nürburgring. Gonna sneak around the outside here. And now we have a little space to work with. So you can see it showing yellow flag in sector 1, and it'll show where that's cleared up. Alright, so we're looking at the top left then of the tablet, and you see a little symbol there for lights. That means that lights are on, and then beside that is the rain light, then windshield wiper, then ignition. So it's showing the status of all those systems, and depending on whether you have them on or off, it will either illuminate or not be illuminated. And then right below that, obviously, we have the tires. And right now I'm showing roughly 26 psi on each, and then the temperatures are showing in the sort of 70s, and you can see the brake temps there, which vary depending on whether you're looking at front or rear, but you saw them heat up there as I broke hard into the hairpin here. So you can see those pressures eventually creeping up as the tires come into temperature, and at the center of that display it's showing dry too. That means I'm on my second set of dry tires. And I mentioned earlier about SimHub and mapping action buttons. So my Action A button, which I have mapped to a button on my wheel, if I press that, then it cycles. So you can see now it is showing the current status of the car. So everything's showing A-OK, or everything's showing OK, I should say. Front, left, right, and rear. Now if I were to hit somebody, that's going to change to light, medium, or heavy damage, and it's also going to tell you how long it will take to fix in the pits. So I'm going to try and remember to ram someone into turn 1 here, and you'll see that it will give an estimate of how long it will take to fix in the pits, which I think is really cool. And press Action A again, and there you see the lap timing. Whoops, let me cycle back to that, sorry. So it's only got 1 lap of data so far, so it's just showing that 3-minute race. Oh, let me ram someone here. There we go. Alright, so now we should be able to go scroll through the pages and see what that did to the car. And there we go, heavy damage and estimated time in the pit 14 additional seconds. So that's a pretty cool thing to have on board, definitely. And let's go back to talking about what we see on our screen. So at the center, there should be a lap delta timer at the top. Right now, because I'm running a voided lap, I won't have that, but that will show green if you're up on your delta and red if you're down. So standard lap delta stuff. Below that, the gear, And below that, that 4-digit number, that is RPMs. And then you see that cool bar that's going green to red. What that is input bar. So as I'm pressing my accelerator, that green bar goes from left to right. And then when I brake, you see the red bar come from right to left. That's actually my brake pedal input. So it's a pretty cool system. And then below that, the black numbering on white background, that is my speed. And below that, not sure if you guys can make it out or not, but that is air temp, and track conditions. So you have optimum, green, etc. And then the conditions right now, it's showing sunny. In 10 minutes, it'll be sunny, and in 30 minutes, it will be sunny as well. But if there was rain in the forecast, then in the next 30 minutes, it would show it there. So moving up to the top right-hand corner, you have race time, which is the total time of the race. So right now, I have about 11 minutes left in this race, and then beside that, that other time, that is actually the time of day. So you're looking at 3:04 p.m. or 15:04, and then beside that, I'm running in 21st position, and I have completed 2 laps. And then below that, so we're down to our second widget now, that's action B. So if I press the action B button on my wheel, I can bring up tire temp and pressure. And now they're matching left and right, obviously, so no real point to that, but I'll press action B again, and then I've got a lap timer. So if you're looking for any advice here, what I usually do, and this is not saying it's the right way, and it's certainly not the only way, but just in case you're looking for something, this is what I usually run. So, whoops, actually not that. Keep an eye on my tires, make sure there's nothing funky happening with them, and then on the right, my relative timing. So right now I've got a 0.9 second gap to the car ahead and about 0.2 to the car behind. So that's what I like to keep on, but you can switch it to whatever you want using those action buttons. And then let's go to the bottom row, final section to talk about. On the left, you see the 2-stage traction control there. Currently in the Lambo, I can't adjust my traction control cut, so it's just set to 0. But I do have level 6 traction control set, and just let me get around this corner, and then I'll push the traction control button, and you can see I get a nice message saying that I have adjusted the traction control, and then that's reflected in the current traction control setting in the bottom left. And then moving over, ABS, and I'll show you, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but if I brake really hard here, you can see that ABS light comes on, and what that's saying is your ABS is working, and it'll say that for traction control too. So see if I can brake traction here. So you see that traction control working when that blue light comes on. And then the lower right corner there, 54 liters of fuel on board, averaging 2.5 liters per lap. And I would have about 21 laps of fuel left based on the consumption of my best lap. So let's see if we can set a real lap here, and we'll get some delta timing. And then I want to talk about one more thing. Actually, I can start talking about it now. So you remember I set a next button in SimHub? Well, when I press that, guess what? I go to a big timing screen here. Big timing screen. So that's going to give me my class gap. So on the far left there, it shows I'm 21 seconds off the leader. And then in the middle, it shows relative. So let's see, 15, well, huge gap to the car behind, whatever it is, somewhere between 15 and 18, and then or actually higher than that, 21. I guess he must be in the pits. And then 2 seconds to the car ahead. So, but it still keeps all the information on the right hand side as far as your lap delta, your gear, RPM, speed, all that. So kind of a handy screen if you're really interested in the timing in the race. But let's go one more screen. So again, that next page or next screen button. And then we have a track map. So the cool thing about this track map, well, one of many cool things, it's great for timing like pit exits and finding out where your opponents are on track, etc. Especially handy in an endurance race. But you can see there's also a wind gauge there. So currently there's nothing blowing, but it would tell you exactly which way the wind is blowing and how strong in meters per second. Plus give you a little bit of information on how much time is left in the race if you so choose. So that is Lovely Dashboard in a nutshell. There is a lovely overlay as well that comes with your download, and if you choose to run as an overlay instead of using a second screen or phone or tablet to show the information, you can choose to do that as well, all through SimHub. So I think this is fantastic, and I think you know, massive credit is due for Konstantinos, because SimHub is something I use quite a lot these days, and I've been looking around for a really great dashboard, and he sure did deliver. This one is incredible. It's so good, and I think Lovely is the right name for it, because it takes all the information you need and makes it very presentable. It's easy to read, easy to follow, and really helps with on-track management. So incredible job. And be sure to check out his video, give him a little thanks if you get time, and thank you guys for watching.